Kenya Moore, the queen of shade herself, has fired back at Andy Cohen after his comments on her controversial actions during the latest season of RHOA. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Delightful by Design. Today, we're diving into the latest tea from the world behind the scenes of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So saddle up, y'all, because this one is a bumpy ride of receipts, legal talk, and some serious Bravo drama. Don't you sometimes feel like the real stories happen on interviews and behind the scenes? Well, I have one even better. Bravo, you set the stage and allow us to share how it would all unfold. Well, I'm going to give you some backstory here. Now, during a recent episode of Andy Cohen Live, Andy and his co-host discussed Kenya's actions at her Kenya Moore Hair Spa event. And if you've been keeping up, you know that this was the scene where Kenya displayed explicit images of her co-star Britt Eady as part of a dramatic confrontation. Andy and his co-host labeled her as revenge porn, and even went as far as to call it SA. Naturally, this did not sit well with Kenya.
Last week's episode, like, I have a gun and a whip or something like that.
I saw that.
And on this week's episode, they all said to Britt that you can't say that shit. And she was like, yeah, you're right. You know, whatever. She shows up to Kenya's opening of her gorgeous salon, which is beautiful, that Kenya has worked so hard on, that she dedicated to her daughter. And it's this big event, opening it with all these people there. And Britt comes in and brings her flowers and says, I want to apologize to you, and a note. And Kenya totally ignores her, like totally. And Britt's like, okay, I'm just going to leave these here. And Britt leaves. And then Kenya gets up and makes her whole opening about someone came after me and they shouldn't have. And I started looking into who this woman is, and this is who she is. And she starts showing pictures of her.
Or like poster board that she printed
out. And this is like
one of the pictures is
revenge
her.
Porn type.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the pictures is her. Like,
oral sexing.
Yeah. And so, and the Atlanta Housewives are like, we're out. We don't want any. The place like clears out.
Yeah.
And then there's and Cynthia said, in all my time at the show, this is the lowest I've ever seen anything get. And so that's what, and then there's a slide at the end of the show that says, Bravo, stop filming with Kenya after this.
Well, they say, like, there's all this talk of, after the Me Too movement, it's like if you show someone a dick pic or a nude pic without them saying, yes, I would like to see that right now, that's like sexual assault.
Yes, Jordan?
Well, I was going to say, the bad part of it and the sad part of it was that, like you said, it was Kenya's opening of her store that she's worked so hard for, and that it's been Kenya Moore hair care for years, and it was like a big moment for her.
Why
and
did she do that?
She should have been celebrating herself, but instead she used the time to do revenge porn and bring somebody else down. And at the end of the day, it was such a bad look for Kenya.
Yeah, why would
she do that? And she sabotaged herself and her business.
Yeah. What was she thinking?
Jody from Minneapolis, what did you think?
Yay, hi. Also, I'm just so proud of Bravo and how they handled it, and all the housewives that left after Kenya showed it. It was so trashy, and it was so negative and ugly, and I don't know, I think a few years ago, not all the wives would have left after that, but I'm really proud that they all left. And, Britt making that comment about the guns and whips, I don't know, I didn't feel like it was totally like, I'm going to go kill you, Kenya. I think it was just her talking smack, and oh my gosh, Kenya just took it way too far.
Yes.
Kenya took to social media to address the comments, and let's just say she did not hold back. She called out Andy and his co-hosts for their selective outrage and ignorance, pointing out that terms like SA and revenge porn should be thrown around lightly. According to Kenya, the images she displayed were publicly available online. No, they were not. Eady had signed a release for them. Well, she mentioned that she spent a lot of money and time to have those images stripped from the internet. And in her words, it's a fair receipt, according to Kenya. right? But Kenya didn't stop there. She questioned why Bravo aired the episode without verifying the legal implication of the accusations against her. Well, Bravo is a business and they are not going to waste that footage, right? So she also highlighted what she saw as a double standard, noting that Britt Eady's comment about having a pistol and whip were seemingly brushed aside. This isn't the first time Kenya had clashed with Bravo and Andy Cohen, but this feud feels particularly intense. Fans are divided, with some supporting Kenya's stance and others criticizing her actions. Meanwhile, Kenya has hinted at possible legal actions and warned everyone not to underestimate activated Kenya. And that's her problem. Well, so what does this mean for Kenya's future with RHOA? Will this feud with Andy Cohen mark the end of her Bravo career? Or will she find a way to turn the narrative into her favor? But only time will tell. But one thing for sure, the behind the scenes comment know how to keep us talking. That's all for now, and I'm certain there's going to be more, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates on all your favorite reality TV drama moments. And tell me what you think about Kenya's response. Is she justifying calling out Andy Cohen, or should she have paid him dust? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay delightful, and bye for now.
Means that the network is sending you a message. You're not as important as you think you are. The message is very clear. Either the network feels that you're still a valuable asset on the show, or they don't, and you're replaced or phased out, and you just have to move on. Clearly means that the network is sending you a message. You're